It's a grim but necessary consideration. How to dispose of fetal tissue when a pregnancy ends in abortion or miscarriage.
They're incinerated.
Incinerated, then buried in a sanitary landfill. It's what happens to most medical waste in the United States. But the state of Texas wants to force medical providers to treat fetal tissues differently, to cremate or bury them in a cemetery.
We think that these rules add some measure of dignity to these unborn children who die from miscarriage or from elective abortions.
But is fetal tissue indeed unborn children, the term used by anti-abortion activists, or is it medical waste? Critics of the Texas rule say the answer is a moral determination, one that only the woman should make.
I feel insulted. I feel like my rights are meaningless. I feel like I'm considered subhuman.
Abortion providers say the rule is just another tactic to stigmatize abortion care. In June, the U.S. Supreme Court found previous efforts by the state of Texas to restrict abortions imposed an undue burden on women's constitutional rights. Just 4 days later, state leaders here at the Texas state capitol proposed the new fetal remains rule, prompting accusations of being sore losers and of using the state's administrative powers to get around the legislative process.
It disgusted me when I first heard about it.
Valerie Peterson was 3 months pregnant when she learned her fetus had a fatal brain abnormality. She was told she could either wait for a stillbirth or have an abortion.
But I can't continue to go on day by day knowing that I'm carrying a pregnancy that isn't viable. And so the best choice for me was to terminate.
Can you imagine what it would have been like to have the abortion and then to start thinking about a funeral?
Yeah, you know, I can't. I really can't. And I don't think a lot of women can. It's just something that you're already an emotional wreck, because that's like I was, and then to have to make a decision on what to do with the remains would have made my grief worse.
Abortion providers argue the rules would also raise the cost of abortions. And the general medical community says for the 1 in 5 pregnancies that end in miscarriage, the rules are a cruel twist of the knife.
It's an attack on women. Period.
The debate continues to be waged in court. A federal judge has until January 6th to decide whether the Texas fetal remains rule may take effect. Heidi Zhou-Castro, Al Jazeera, Austin, Texas.